eventually come together. Okay, here we go. All right, so here right now, a couple of things I want to pull up and show you. But first, let me just say good evening. But good morning, good afternoon, good evening, proper greeting of the day whenever you get around to seeing this. Um, there are a few different things I want to talk about. Um, so the first is you have to be ever present, consciously aware of where you live. Give me 1 second. Let me pull up this window. Sure. Okay. This is a Google Maps. And let's just zoom back in real quick. The red spot was Deer Park, Texas. And I was just seeing where the closest U.S. Customs place was to it, and it's closer to Houston. But I just want let me just show you something. Back it all up. Let me hide this out the way so it's not in the way. I was reading this article, and come to find out, where this took place at this explosion down there in Deer Park. And I'm going to caveat into a bunch of different things. So expect my usual antics of not staying any one place too long. But for right now, that's what I'm talking about. And the peculiar location of where this is at. Now, I just want to show y'all something. If you move to the east and you look, and I'm going to pull it up when I get there. I have to get a little closer. No, let me go back. Let me get a little closer. There's a spot in Texas called China, really, really close to this area. Thought that was funny. Don't know if it's funny. It's right here. As y'all can see, we're not in the boot just yet. We're still in Texas. Can you dig it? This little spot. Oh, it's off the freeway. But let's just move on back. And close proximity. Now you have to understand that there's a Chinatown obviously everywhere. But this is one of the largest and most active trade ports in the world. And obviously it serves the Gulf of Mexico. Services many other clients. And you best believe the Chinese are one of them. Now, Chinese aren't the only, I won't say, you can't call them victims, but you would say, I guess, parties punished. And the reason why I say this is because if you look even closer, I'll back it up somehow. And we just bang it on around. Let's just see how close we are. See how close we are to the border right now. So when you talk about chemical drift, they say it doesn't affect the drinking water of the people of Deer Park, but well, what about citizens who live in Mexico and people who further live along this coastal line? You got to understand, there was like 62,000 barrels. It was like over 2 million pounds of chemical waste that can no longer be accounted for. Andre lives there in Texas. He was saying that there was people who were like 30 miles away who could see the fire. as if they were like, right up on it. It had devastating effects. I'm sure there's going to be people who die eventually from being exposed to whatever these chemicals are. I'm quite positive of that. Um, More so than that, though, just look at the geographical locale. So understand it's going to push down. If the winds are headed south, it's going to push down. It's going to push down into Mexico, close to the border, but close to places where they obviously say that they feel like they should be building walls at. I want you guys to understand, I'm not a stupid guy. Uh, they want to put obviously walls everywhere, all across this whole border. Don't get it fucked up. But just look at how this all played out. And I know they say that most of the major construction of the wall is supposed to be on this side of the border, but don't think that there aren't major infrastructure areas that they would like to keep guarded, and especially when you're talking about how close it is to a port and port cities, port-like cities. Um, just wanted to look at that with y'all, show that to you. Uh, if I get the time, I'm gonna pull up the article about China and the small explosion that took place there, claiming, let's say, 23 lives and injuring another 40 some odd people. However, give me a moment to make sure that those numbers are right. And the reason why I'm calling it smoke and mirrors is because there's a lot going on this week that if you overlook it, it'll be a surprise almost, when the stuff starts to take place. I want y'all to realize um, the same type of health concerns you would have for anything like this. First off, the climate in Texas, you know, and once again, how close this place is to a port. So there's a lot of wind draft. So the wind can blow any and every direction and push these chemicals any and everywhere. There's no telling the actual fullness of the severity of what's taking place. Give me one moment. Go ahead and stop presenting this. Now, before I move to this next point, which is about one Donald Trump, I want to talk about how people have to be a little more circumspect about where they're living. You know, this is not a good thing, no matter how you look at it, because it's all kinds of fucking chemicals being released into the environment, and there's no way of telling how all that stuff affects itself, especially when they combine and meet from certain distances and certain circumstances, you know, that allow for greater and much more, I guess, uncontrollable catastrophes to take place. But with that said, what's also sad is just the fact that these companies don't have to I mean, it's like the fact that they can even be that close to a city, just like Andre was saying, but I was reading in this article about China, and the parallel was that in China things are, they're poorly regulated, you know, and one of the reputations that America's always had is that that people are tight ass about certain things, and they'll hit you, when you least expect it, they hit you with some shit. So it's just weird that a plant like this is able to operate or was able to operate at the time, so close to a civilian populace, port or no port. Um, and there's all types of plants like this out here in Tacoma, or close to, I should say, five. Uh, and I'm pretty sure they're capable of like similar catastrophe. Uh, And that's the type of stuff I'm talking about. Is like, how can you let somebody operate a business that could ultimately, kill people if things go wrong? And just because some egghead tells you that things shouldn't go wrong is why you believe it. But I'm hoping that this prompts everybody, to just look into what what facilities around them are potentially capable of the same type of destruction and a similar magnitude, so that way, you can have breather masks and things like that available. Whatever is going to help mitigate the severity of the circumstance. You know, one article I was reading, the lady was talking about. She said you wished you could pull out your eyeballs, rinse them off, and then put them back in. When your eyes are burning that bad, where it feels like the back of your eyes are burning, holy fuck. You know. But anyway, let me talk about this dude D Treasy, and I got a couple of other little articles that are, there's some stuff that's bothering me. You know, uh, I try not to let things bother me. I want to say, what's the other man's name? I seen this the other day, and I was going to talk about it, but it's just like people. See, this is one of my things that I can never understand is how the only time a black man or somebody like that shouldn't have been killed is if he was totally docile and totally totally servitile to whatever orders he was being given. And it's like, that sounds good, but but um but that's not realistic, man. you know I mean, it sounds good, but that's just not that's not real at all. Because what happens when when it's somebody that you don't care about, more or less, you know. But this young man, he was murdered by the police, and says Antoine Rose. I'm trying to find the article, and I'll just pull it up real quick. Trump will have to wait, and it's the smoke and mirror shit, because not too long ago, the young boy Laquan McDonald, they convicted that dude, But it's like, what, you have to shoot a motherfucker 17 times to get convicted? It's like, dog, if it's murder, it's murder. You know, you know, there's almost no good reason the person can tell me why you shot somebody in the back. You know, like, unless you're talking about it was war, trying to justify yourself, you know what I mean? And even then I don't totally understand, because I'm like, I hear you, dog, but you know, you can't talk about wanting better for yourself or wanting better for your people and then go around and then commit actions like that against other people, so-called people. Here we go. That's right. His name was Antoine Rose. There we go. It just takes so long for me to find the stuff about history. That is my fault. Got so much stuff floating around there. Let's go ahead and share this article. If you, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. It looks big enough right now. Let's see how get a little bit bigger than that. Stop sharing or hide. Former officer Michael Rosfield found not guilty in death of Antoine Rose. Protests began. Now stop right there. Now, you're probably wondering why it's called smoke and mirrors, because this is part of the smoke and mirror. See, when Antoine Rose was murdered, it was actually a really big deal. It's been almost a year. Just let's just let's just listen to it. We're not gonna listen to this article. What? Oh wow, they took it down. Y'all, they took it down. What? Listen, there was an article here, a whole entire article. It better be in this. It better be in this. All of it better be in this. I gotta make sure it's all here first, so before I start reading. Okay, yeah, that seems the same. I was about to be super pissed off. I know it said read more, but sometimes when they do that, articles are completely different, and then it changes, what you're trying to say or what you were going to say, because you have to go based on what they have written. Don't worry, y'all. No justice, no peace. I guess. But anyway, let's go ahead and read what this article says. Former East Pittsburgh police officer Michael Rossfield was found not guilty Friday in the shooting death last summer of 17-year-old Antoine Rose II of Rankin. The jury of 7 men and 5 women, including 3 black jurors who were probably, of the women, no offense, or probably old-ass men. I have a hard time believing that you had 3 28-year-old black dudes on the jury, and no. Anyway, unless they were all Anthony fucking Brian Logan, and then yeah, maybe, you know what I mean? Anyway, deliberated for a total of 3.5 hours before returning a verdict at the Allegheny County Courthouse in downtown Pittsburgh. Antoine's mother, Michelle Kinney, did not visibly react to the verdict. She told her daughter not to cry. That's crazy. That's madness. Let me tell you something. I would have never told my people not to cry. Don't cry. Don't show anything. Don't show any emotion. See, look, let me tell y'all something. All that not showing emotion nonsense, it gives them permission, tells them it's okay to fuck you up because I feel nothing. So I guess you feel nothing about your son getting murdered. This bitch is out her fucking mind. Anyway, let me keep it pushing. And I read this earlier and felt the same way, and I had to share y'all the same way I felt it come to me. I needed y'all to feel what I felt. All that trying to stand strong in the face of the storm shit, that's fucking ridiculous. Her son is not coming back. End quotes. I don't have an answer. I don't have any question in my mind. It was the proper verdict, said Patrick Thomasy, attorney for Mr. Rossfield. I give this jury lots of credit. This was a very hard case. I will point out to you this was not an all-white jury. There were African Americans on this jury. They listened to the facts. They listened to the law. Listen to this right here. Trying to justify the fact that they got the verdict is because they had black people on the jury. Now, once again, are these half-breed people? Are these quarter-breed people? I want to know, right? And then these 3 black people should be stoned. Egged first and then stoned. They listen to the facts. No, let me see the fucking tape. And if you don't have a tape, nigga, I'm not believing shit you say. He's innocent until proven guilty. But had he been a black man just simply defending himself from a group of fucking hooligans who could be any race, they could be black. This man could be fighting for his life and the rest of his existence. And see, this is the type of shit I'm talking about. The smoking fucking mirrors. They let the one dude get a listen. He got no time for killing fucking Laquan McDonald. He got no time. No time. He'll be out still a very young man. This dude, innocent. Hold on. In a statement released about an hour after the verdict, District Attorney Stephen A. Zappala Jr. said he disagrees with the jury's decision, but he respects the system. Stop right there. Anytime you say some shit like that, that's double-sided. Right on? So you respect the fact that the system is broken. Right. I wanted to read this shit to y'all because I needed y'all to understand the smoke and mirror effort that's being played on y'all. See, this is why people like a nigga like me will tell you, I don't give a fuck about a cop getting convicted. You know what I mean? Means nothing. There is no domino effect in play. Wanna know why? Because this young man could have been in a car where a crime was committed. It doesn't mean he did anything fucking wrong. From past a whole bunch of this bullshit. Here we go, right there, because I want y'all to see this right here. Look. The trial began Tuesday morning, and jurors weighed evidence, testimony, and arguments for 4 days. Jurors then had to decide whether Mr. Rossfeld was justified when he killed Antoine, who 13 minutes earlier had been in a car during a drive-by shooting in North Braddock. Now stop right there. Does that mean that the shots came from him? Do you know how many times motherfuckers have been somewhere, shit ain't got nothing to do with them? Motherfucker like, man, let me out the car. Now he out the car, now they want to fuck with him. Right. Right. I need y'all to understand this shit. Nothing that has been told to you as a specified piece of information justifies what happens. They listen to the facts. No, they listen to one motherfucker's story who killed another person. And because the other person is no longer here to tell their side of the story, you have to believe what the fuck they say. And this dude's mother talking about don't cry. His mother's insane. I'm glad she's not my mother. If my mom said something like that, I'd want her to burn forever. Forever. Fuck out of here. Don't cry. Nigga, give me my 7 days of mourning. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? And then if some fucked up shit happens, mourn right then and there in that moment, because you know that that is an unjust thing that just took place. I didn't say mourn forever. Mourn in that moment because, you know, woe is me. Oh, I'm gonna stone face take somebody fucking getting away with murder. And in this land, you can't even avenge the blood of the fallen. Talking about, man, get the fuck out of here. That's crazy. Listen, the trial began Tuesday morning, and jurors weighed evidence, testimony, and arguments for 4 days. 4 days is all it took to decide that this dude was not guilty. It took years for this Laquan McDonald shit to fucking boil out. Unless you get shot 17 times, you're fucked. I guess that's the fucking that's like the bar right now. That's the curve. You got to get blasted 17 times. And there's got to be no weapon, and there's got to be a whole level of bullshit that takes place. Police officers lying, trying to distort evidence, all kinds of shit. Police officers coming forward to say that this isn't what happened and that they asked me to, you know what I'm saying, to keep the code of silence. People being blackballed from the police department until some movie shit happens, right? Motherfucker not even going to prison. So you ain't got to worry about it. They broke Freddie Gray in half. They folded him in half like a blanket. And motherfuckers is talking about Freddie Gray was a drug dealer. Did they do that shit to Al Capone? Huh? Or John fucking Gotti? No, the fuck they didn't. You come at me with that bullshit. Bona fide murderers. People who have blood on their hands. Who had blood on their hands. Fuck out of here. The jurors were going to return to the courtroom at 9:03. The two alternates who did not participate in deliberations sat at the front of the courtroom. Stop right there. Are two of the alternates African Americans? Huh? Are two of the people not even involved in the deliberations African Americans? I want y'all to understand. They want y'all to believe that niggas had something to do with this fucked up decision. 9 of the other people were white. So if just listen, If 7 out of them say he's not guilty, it doesn't matter what the other ones say. Oh, man. Juror number 9 was the foreman and read the verdict in the packed courtroom. He hesitated before saying not guilty at each count he read. First-degree murder, not guilty. Third-degree murder, not guilty. Voluntary manslaughter, not guilty. After finally a long pause, involuntary manslaughter, not guilty. They knew what they did was wrong. That's why there's such a long pause. Because if you feel like you're vindicated, the shit just rolls off. Nigga, you're not guilty of none of this shit. And I'm going to let everybody know because I'm going to deliver it with that kind of motherfucking goddamn oomph. But when I pause and stutter step from first degree murder to involuntary manslaughter, they were like, dude, look, the prosecutors for this case just threw a bunch of shit to the wall and were like, we hope to God something sticks. They could have tried to charge this dude with a bunch of lesser crimes. But if they found him not guilty for all this shit, even if you find him guilty for the other things, the judge still has the ultimate choice in the ruling. Oh, man, this shit is crazy. And the other day I said something, I got to correct myself. When I was like, the president doesn't sign acts, he signs bills. What I was meaning to say was when the president does what he does with bills and acts, he doesn't write up an act. He introduces a bill to Congress. Congress then takes it. If they ratify it, it becomes an act. Right on. And I'm gonna get right back to this. I said something like he doesn't sign bills. He doesn't sign acts. He signs bills. I meant to say that he puts forth bills. They become acts. However, that's neither here nor there. He can write it up and legislate it, but still, it's just a bill, just like anything else would be before it becomes. Anyway, back to this. This is why it's all fucked up. So you try to throw everything to the wall, see what sticks. Nothing sticks. Nothing. Listen. First-degree murder to involuntary manslaughter. The prosecutor's thinking like maybe we can get him for something and at least get a moral victory in a manslaughter charge, right? Nothing. Mr. Rossville grabbed the hand of the investigator next to him while his wife, sitting in the front row of the courtroom, began to weep. Here we go with this shit. She's crying, huh? He's alive. He's alive and living. If he was in prison, he could get conjugal visits and still be fucking this dirty bitch. Man, this shit is crazy, man. Mr. Rossville and his wife were rushed from the courtroom by deputies shouting, go, 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 go. Right, yeah, right. Because the deputies are like, yeah, y'all better get the fuck up out of here because you don't know what could happen. 1,000 motherfuckers might spill up in this bitch and just tear this bitch up. See, that's what they're afraid of, okay? They're afraid of 1,000 Demetrius is showing up at the front of the courthouse. It's like, go ahead and issue the wrong verdict. There's not going to be a protest. Go ahead and issue the wrong verdict. Go ahead, we dare you. Go ahead, we dare you. And it ain't even going to be words. It's just going to be the physical action it's going to see. It's going to be, go ahead, I dare you to issue the wrong verdict. You couldn't get out here fast enough. You couldn't do nothing fast enough. Right on? Fuck it. I'm enemy of the state, enemy of the world, just like that. But these niggas is, anyway, these niggas is fucking soggy ass cornflakes and milk. They don't want none. The verdict ends a contentious case that has divided the region for 9 months. It did not end the controversy. Minutes after the verdict became known, a crowd gathered on the steps of the courthouse. They began singing, what side are you on, my people? The response, the freedom side. Let me tell y'all something about these people. If they really cared, they'd be in neighborhoods where little black kids are at every day, trying to get young brothers employed, trying to get young sisters off the streets, selling their bodies, trying to heal the broken minds and the broken hearts and the souls of those that have taken lives, of those that have been around those that have had their lives taken. This shit is real. But this is what they do. They want to get sad. The crowd was angry but peaceful. See, that's the type of weak ass shit. Look, man, these are the same people from fucking 50, 60, 70 years ago. It's not different. These are the same people who go and listen to dudes on the internet who tell them how to conduct themselves. And the shit gets real, and this is what they do. And the dudes who tell them to conduct themselves in a certain way, these dudes don't be fucking feet on the ground in the middle of the shit. They be off to the side, talking about, oh, I'm smarter than that. I can't keep reading this nonsense because this is bullshit. It is. It's bullshit. I need y'all to understand. This shit is not gonna get no easier. You know what I'm saying? Not gonna get no easier. And the smoke in the mirrors is up viciously. You know. Give me 1 second, y'all. Smoke and mirrors. What up, everybody? Man, but that's just how it is. You know, that's just how it is. Now, I'm about to hit y'all with my little with the rule with the piece I really wanted to come with, which is this no collusion after all. And I was saying the other week or whatever. Give me 1 second. Let me share this. I was saying the other week that damn old no, this investigation right here that young Donald Trump is going through is going to be the crux of how people run. You know, like there's not going to be any. There will be no competition. 1 second. This is it. All right, that. A little bit bigger. All right. Oh, too big. Whoa. 1 second. Okay. No collusion. After all, now why they're saying this is because if I can't find the link or I can't find the link in my history, but I'll try to find it. When this shit first hit the airwaves, Mueller's report said it's unclear. There's no way of telling, like, you know, but really that means that nothing happened. So even though I don't really stand by the term witch hunt, I do believe that this is, once again, it's all smoke and mirrors. Trump has two things going on. Now, I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, but the Stormy Daniels thing, the thing with the ex-porn star was probably actually bigger than this. Even though this could lead to him, could have potentially, with, you know, quotes, led to him being impeached. There was nothing there ever to begin with. When the Russia probe first took off, I want y'all to go back and look at the timelines. Pizzagate, which was about pedophiles in high places doing funny ass rituals with the babies, was still in full effect. YouTube had started to demonetize channels. people who have been making a pretty good living, right, for a long time, started to see their money stunted. Now, follow what I'm saying. It seems crazy, but this whole investigation was meant to take people's whole minds and ideas off of the whole Pizzagate thing. Want to know why? Because while you're worried about collusion, people are totally forgetting about the things with these Catholic priests, which is why I talked about the thing with the archdiocese or whatever, however the fuck you say that name, the other time I did my live stream. Come on now, y'all. Now let's go ahead and get into this. President Trump uttered the phrase "no collusion" between the past 2 years to pretty much anybody who would listen, more than 200 times total. And on Friday, Special Counsel Robert S. Mueller's III's Russia investigation ended with the news that Mueller won't be indicting anybody else. Nobody has been charged with conspiracy and working with Russia during the 2016 election, and nobody will, at least by Mueller's team. Now stop right there. What happened was, when they did this investigation, just like I was listening to this dude break it down, the reason why they didn't find anything was because what they could look for and how far they could look have been defined by the Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton real estate scandal and shit. And that's how he got found to have been fucking around with that bitch Monica Lewinsky. Now the reason why that's so important, and excuse my language, y'all, I'm going all in. I can't help myself right now. The reason why that's so important though is because even if somebody did something that probably actually was a crime, there was no way of proving it based on the parameters that Mueller was able to work within. So whatever he found were actual just basic crimes of morality, as opposed to something that he could claim was a crime of morality against the nation. Of course, Mueller's findings have not been made public. Even so, some of Trump's top surrogates are already declaring victory. Here, the chairman of the RNC committee, the Republican National Committee, Ronald McDaniel. The whole point of the investigation was to see if there was conspiracy with Russia existed to affect the 2016 election. Dems like Adam Schiff promised otherwise, but it ended without a single American charge for colluding with Russia. Why? Because there was no collusion. I'll stop right there. All the smokes and screens that you guys are seeing are deep. This shit is deep. Because you have to realize, so what? There's no collusion. So what? Right on? What does that mean for top aides who were supposed to be getting charged as pedophiles and shit like that, who somehow found their way off the hook? All this, I'm trying to tell y'all, this whole shit, the other day I was looking at it, and I can't really get too far into it because, you know, YouTube is sensitive about people talking about Pizzagate. You know, talking about, here we go. Where my history at? 1 second. And I'm gonna read a little more of this, but that's it though. I mean, like that's it. There's nothing else to it. There's no collusion. There's nobody colluded. And if that was, and like I told you, if that's the crux of Trump's running strategy this next election season, he's already won. There's nobody who can beat him. Like when I say there's nobody who can beat him, there's nobody who can beat him. Who? I'd love to know. Have you ever watched a movie and knew that like like you're like watching a villain fight all these dudes in a tournament, and the villain has like a secret power that nobody else has, and you're like, yeah, even if he gets his ass beat, he's just gonna do that move and then he's gonna win. So we're watching a move like that right now with Trump. The wall once again, man, this shit is so deep. There's so many different things going on. You see what I'm saying? Trump is a he's throwing whatever he can to the wall and seeing what sticks. Seeing which way he can try to sway the people because they're starting to see it won't be it making America great again. Even if they were able to get a Republican to follow up and follow suit, it's not as easy as they think it is. You know what I'm saying this whole situation is actually probably much deeper, much bigger than what they thought it was, and because a lot of people don't really respect anything, you know, uh, well, they can kiss my ass. Let me go ahead and pull this up real quick since I'm here. I love it. Oh, oh, that's what I wanted to say. This whole shit too is about Trump's taxes. Okay, they're trying to use this as a way to find their way into getting his taxes released. Uh, Not sure exactly how that's gonna work, but I was reading this article the other day, and they were like, if they could look into his finances with Russia, then they could potentially force him to have to release his taxes and shit. I'm just like, do y'all see how this shit is working? You know what I mean? It's crazy. So okay, now it changed because the initial one was, as y'all can see right here, China probes factory blast as death toll rise to 47. China factory blast toll jumps to 64. Man rescued after 40 hours. Here we go. We always want to do them. Okay, here we go with this shit. I know something that this one's changed for sure. Why don't you look at a couple of these pictures? Look at this shit. Look at this fucking devastation. Wow. Look what the listen. If you was in that bitch when it happened, it was over. Because understand there was an explosion somewhere. You can only get so far. There's chemicals and shit everywhere. Man, if you don't have the proper protection equipment on, it's done. Look at these fucking buildings. They're done. Yup. She probably ain't gonna make it being exposed the way she was. Look at this fucking plume of smoke, man. Look at that. That shit is crazy. But this is the same type of plume of smoke that people were seeing, only bigger in Texas. Look, look, y'all, this is NBC. I've trained to do this type of stuff. These military guys should all be wearing NBC suits. China is crazy, man. This shit is crazy. Look at this right here. Overall destruction. You could argue that most of it probably exploded almost all at once. Because no one area looks greatly more devastated than the other. So it looks like as if it just poofed out, and then there was a fire, all around. We're gonna read some of this. Come on. Once again, these are chemicals, y'all. These are chemical smoke. Like none of these people wearing masks. They're stupid. That's so I believe them when they say that China doesn't have proper regulations. Putting water on a fire, on a chemical fire, could be totally dangerous. Just to go ahead and let you know, there are solvents and certain types of chemicals. Uh, 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 uh. You have to balance the shit out. You have to find another chemical sometimes that will balance it out, so that way, its acidity or its corrosiveness is brought to naught. I'm saying you guys are stupid. Anyway, that's what it looked like at night. You know, this shit is crazy, man. Anyway, let me go ahead and go down and read some of this article. This shit is crazy. The death toll in a chemical plant explosion in China rose to 64 Saturday, but rescuers found a survivor among the more than 2 dozen still missing in the debris of one of the country's worst industrial accidents in recent years. Thursday's explosion in the eastern city of Yanqing entered hundreds and flattened an industrial park. Holy fuck. The local fire brigade pulled a man in his 40s from under the rubble of the destroyed chemical plant around dawn on Saturday, according to the statement of the city's official of the according to the statement of the city government's official Weibo account or Weibo. He was taken to the hospital for treatment, the statement said, without giving further detail of his status or injuries. That dude could have been dead. Okay? This shit is crazy, man. Anyway, man, this shit is crazy, dude. Like, they're trying to make it seem that they saved somebody. They didn't fucking save anybody. You don't know, because normally when somebody's saved and like they're coherent, they say shit like, thank you. The man was grateful and all. None of that. Where's that at? Anyway. The rescuers are looking for 28 people who are still missing, state broadcaster CCTV reported, citing Yanqing Mayor Chao Lubao. The identities of the dead and the missing are being confirmed through interviews with family members, home visits, and DNA tests, Chao told CCTV. The explosion toppled several buildings in the industrial park and caused a huge fire that raged through the night, while rescuers scrambled to find survivors in the plant's wreckage. There we go. Listen. The shit blew all that shit down at once, y'all. Just boof. So I'm sure something like that happened out there in Texas, and they're gonna do the damage control to make it seem as if hundreds of people aren't fucking already. Dude, this shit is crazy, man. These are the type of people who are telling you that they're bringing innovative technology to your homes. Okay, you keep believing them. These motherfuckers are bringing death and destruction. More than 600 people have received medical treatment following the blast, according to the city government. Among them, 34 are critically injured, 60 are seriously injured. Stop right there. Out of that 34, go ahead and say half of them are gone. Out of that 60, I'd say at least 10. That's another 27 people. It's 100 people, man. You know what I'm saying? Which also said 28 people are still missing. So the missing are dead. They're out of here. So the 28 plus 64 is 92. Plus another 27 is 119. There's at least 120 dead people. At least. Hundreds of rescuers were dispatched to the scene. Local authorities said some 4,000 people have been evacuated from the blast site. Local authorities investigating the cause of the accident said an unspecified number of people were taken into police custody on Friday. Stop right there. These are people who probably worked at the fucking chemical plant, and they want to know, did you have anything to do with it? Did you do anything? And motherfuckers like, look, man, I ran for my life while this shit was going on, dude. I didn't do a fucking thing, But once again, for the sake of looking as if they have somebody to hold accountable and responsible, they'll say that they arrested somebody. Come on. Let's keep it doing. See, Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Don't worry. After I'm done talking about this, I'm about to go all in. I can't wait. The facility involved in the explosion belonged to Tianjia, Tianjia, Tianjia Chemical, a firm with 195 employees in 2007 that mainly produces raw chemical materials including anisole, a highly flammable compound. Stop right there. So this is why the shit blew up. Let's look this shit up real quick. Never heard of that. Anisole is a flavoring agent. What? What the fuck? Is a flavoring agent, is a precursor to perfumes, insect pheromones, and pharmaceuticals. For example, synthetic anethole is prepared from anisole. Is prepared from anisole. So they have to get the shit that's fake from the real shit. Anisole undergoes electrophilic aromatic substitution reaction more quickly than benzene, which in turn reacts more quickly than nitrobenzene. The nitrobenzene. So the shit that's fucked up in Texas right now, this explosion, in comparison, probably actually was a little worse. But because China's so big, the pictures didn't look so bad. That's just, that's just, that just sounds, righteous. And another word, just in case y'all have never seen this word before, electrophilic. A molecule group having a tendency to acquire electrons. But I could have told you that. Anyway, Tianjia Chemical has a history of violating environmental regulations according to online records from Yanqing City Environment and Ecology Bureau. Stop right there. How these motherfuckers are still in business, obviously they're greasing somebody's wheels, is beyond me. In 2015 and 17, the firm was fined for violating rules on solid and wastewater and on solid and water waste management. Yeah, because they're fucking throwing solid waste into the water. These motherfuckers are the devil, dog. Anyway, it's the type of shit I'm talking about. You can't take these kind of people serious. And the smokes and mirrors are real. Now, give me a second to explain all this. Shit's about to get crazy. They've reached. I didn't say it's not so much that it's tied to Texas. It's just that they're related because they're both in industrial cities or semi-industrial cities. They're both obviously very close to the people and they're close to the water. Not only that, but you're dealing with chemicals. You're dealing with volatile agents, and smoke and mirrors being this right here. Nothing like a little tragedy to take people's eyes off of what is really going on. So they were hoping that this massive mega nonsense in Texas, and let me go ahead and read. I'm gonna have to get back through and read what everybody was saying. Uh, but they're doing all this nonsense. Texas, fucking around, chemicals. They want you to look there, not look at what I'm not even gonna say what the president has going on. He's not important. It's just what they don't want you to see. Once again, I could pull up the damn little article. Let me just try to find it real quick. The damn little article with the Catholic priest, from just yesterday, and let me tell you why this is important. Because just a week ago, hell, just earlier this week, My man R. Kelly was all in the news, and they were still trying to do him in. And one of these Catholic churches, again, rocked by a scandal, right? And once again, the smoke and mirrors to take your eyes off of Pizzagate. Okay, I know people don't want to believe it, but this is this is real. This is real. Um, yeah, yeah. They're trying to keep your eyes off of some weirdo shit. I don't even care about. I don't think anybody even understands. I've brought up Pizzagate in between, messages several times. But the more and more I see what's happening, the more and more I can't deny it. There was a bunch of YouTubers who fucking had their accounts ended, all their monetization cut off, all types of shit, all kinds of crazy shit. White dudes and black dudes were talking about that shit. Now I never had my stuff monetized, so it just never mattered. But the more I look at this, imagine if they hadn't been following a Trump collusion thing for these last couple of years, or had been putting together the pieces of these fucking pedophiles in churches, and then the connection between the Pizzagate emails, right? Oh, what, you don't think these priests like pizza too? Come on, I'll kill them. These niggas don't want the truth. I think it's called smoke and mirrors. It's about something totally different. The shit what this shit is really about is something totally different. I'm gonna check into it. Give me 1 second. I'm looking at it right now. Oh man, shit. If it's a SAS dude, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he probably knows a couple things. You know, they know enough, but shit, they're all right. Yeah, yeah. The Special Air Service, they're uh, they're pretty much like air commandos. You know what I mean? They're like they're like airborne rangers plus Navy SEALs. They're pretty bad motherfuckers. You know, and that's the truth. Anyway, um, this whole shit is really about the babies on some weird shit and it's just. I wish I could explain it to y'all the biblical way about how people have been sacrificing the kids for so long. Nothing that I'm talking about is supposed to get beyond you. Don't let this get beyond your putting the 2019 so-called 400-year prophecy test. The reason why I say this is because watch more and more how these people are. They are going to do more questionable, unruly things, unsavory things. Um, I believe both of these plants exploded on purpose. I believe all of these things happened purposely. Um, there's no coincidence in the fact that there were people who were charged in the Russian collusion investigation for crimes unrelated of collusion. But to have made it seem as if, oh, these guys were up to no good. There's always somebody who's willing to take one for the team, and these guys are going to take one for the team. So, and by them taking one, that means that they take the heat off of them eating the flesh of little babies, them killing little children, torturing them, all kinds of shit, raping them, everything. Right. See, you guys got to realize when Pizzagate hit, it was the biggest thing. I mean, I've never seen anything bigger than Pizzagate, ever. When Pizzagate happened, it was the biggest thing. It was huge. And people totally forget about it. They don't even talk about it. They're just like totally terrified. You know, I don't have a channel big enough to be worried about it. All YouTube can do is block the fucking video. That's it. But it's not called Pizzagate. It's called Smoke and Mirrors. So understand that it was not a bait and switch, because everything I'm talking about is totally aligned with keeping your mind off of the things that matter. The same dirty, foul, contrite nonsense they were doing over here in the US, they've been doing all over the fucking world to all the children. Who hasn't heard about child trafficking in Thailand, in China, in the Philippines? Come on now. Who hasn't heard about all the sex brothels all throughout Asia? All through, and India included. Right. The people in the Middle East are supposed to be so fucking pious, but they got whorehouses all over the place, full of young children. You're trying to take your eyes off of what's really going on. See, Roger Spice might be the most honorable dude actually talking about the babies, period, because he always talks about protecting the babies. And the reason being is because they're the key to a lot of things. You see what I'm saying? If you break a child, you know what the future is, because I broke them. Right. If you give them strength, you know what the future is, because you gave them strength. See, people want you to not pay attention to what the fuck is happening, because if you don't pay attention, and guess what? They got you with the okie doke. The ultimate okie doke. Once again, this is why I don't care about no elections. I don't care about none of that. Because between elections, during elections, after elections, before election, whatever you want to say, they're still doing these evil things, these wicked things to the babies. Through and through and through and through and through. Why do you think I advocate that? Yes, build the wall. Get as close to what looks like prophecy as you possibly can. Don't worry. This chemical plant explosion in Texas gonna kill all kinds of fucking shit that flies in the air, that lives in the water. Right. Don't worry. Gonna make certain things untenable for a while, because they're not gonna know the actual devastation. But that's beyond the fact. But just talk about the babies. You see what I'm talking about? You see how a person has to have the ability to live in the spectrum mode? You have to be able to live into the frequencies. You see what I'm saying? You can't live in just one broadband and expect to learn something or to understand it, for that matter. So if they throw out the smoke and mirrors, yeah, that happened. Yeah, that happened. I acknowledge that it happened. But let me acknowledge these things that are still happening, that happened before it, after, and during it. Right now, in this country, in this land, there is a child who needs someone to do something for them. Greetings, bro. But nobody's going to do anything for them. Want to know why? Because they don't believe that there's a group, a cabal of evil bastards who make their bones off of making sure that they keep fresh stock of young ones at all times. See, people think I'm crazy. One time when I was 18 years old, this is going on 10 years, and literally about 4.5 months, it'll be 10 years since I heard these words. And the words went something like this. It said, Jones, you can't be worried about everything like that. They said that geniuses go crazy because they realize the imperfections in society. I don't want you to go crazy. See, the imperfections that I realize within society aren't things that I don't have control over, because I have control over myself. I don't have control over you, but I can speak to you. and you have control over yourself. Therefore, giving control to someone who seeks to have it by the means of just lending the good advice to another person. See, you can control my actions just by saying, hey, brother, that's not a good look. And then I say, oh, that's not a good look. Though I act on my own accord, you have controlled what I've done by speaking words of wisdom to me. And that's not for a good or bad thing, because if you do something that I say and use it for bad, then what I have said to you has been used for bad. I'm not telling you to do it for bad. The same way it would be for if it's done for good. These things are all fall on you and they're all your own personal merit. But we're not controlled by ourselves. I need you to understand that. We are propelled by each other. I need you the same way you need me. And if you don't think you need me, trust me, you need someone to do what it is that I'm doing right now. It is an invariable task that you could go find somebody else to speak up and to be willing to speak up on this level. See, people don't want to talk about something like pedophilia and how it relates to them with all their fucking headlines, excuse my language. So they murdered the young boy. How many young boys have they murdered? Did you know this year alone? This year alone. Because last year they killed over 1,000 people. This year alone, they're slated by the FBI statistics to kill anywhere from 900 to 1,100 people. The police officers. They're going to lose about 100 and something cops this year. If that. And most of the police officers they lose are to suicide. But they have everybody caught up in the smoke and mirrors. They don't want you to worry about what's really important. What about that lady that murdered her daughter and got the man caught up, got the boyfriend caught up in the bullshit? Hated the father so much. Gay white dudes, warrior white dudes, gay warrior white dudes, or warrior-ass white dudes, that's nothing new. Who do you think came down from the mountains? Just like I was telling Andre, I'm going to go in on these dudes. Give me 1 second and I'm going to go all in on them. Let me talk about this, and then I'm going to caveat right into that. See, the reason why you have this dynamic that you have within the society that we live in is because people don't have the ability to stand back and look. I understand, like I said, okay, all right. So what? Young boy Antoine Rose was in a car that was involved in a drive-by shooting. So what? Where's the smoking gun on his body? Where's the gun at on him? Right. They presented not one shred of information in the article I read to you, because there wasn't one shred of information that was given that was made to make sense during that whole entire fucking case. The young boy's auntie said it was too fast. I read it already. That's why I can tell you this. The whole thing happened too fast. She watched other cases and thought there was going to be years of deliberation where people would have time to come to their senses. But Pittsburgh is a expressively racist town and city. People know this, but yet they don't have time to stand back and look and say, okay, no justice will be done. No justice will be done. Who was waiting outside to blast this motherfucker's head off if he fucking got found not guilty? Nobody. Right. So even when these dudes talk all this shit, once again, all these niggas run their mouth, but they're not about the life. Where was the bow and arrow with the poison tip on it? Nowhere. Nothing. Right. But they want you to be invested in that shit. There's nothing to be invested in because there's never If you think there's justice, then tell me where it was ever found here in this land. My point exactly. And with that said, because there's never been justice here, I don't need to look into a useless endeavor of no justice. It makes no sense, none whatsoever. I'm justified in saying that there will be no justice, therefore, I should pay it very little attention. Right. I should be informed, but I shouldn't give it all my energy. Right. But people give it all their energy. And they're not even informed. Right. Man, check this out, Steve. And I'm gonna hit that real quick. Man. Look, dude. Gay KKK members go back to slave owners and overseers castrating little black boys when they was young, sending them off to like little houses where, listen, they would send these dudes to places where they would be raised to be, they was like effeminate dudes. Faggot gay black dudes go back to, to obviously the ancient days, but in this land, the white man created his own fantasy homosexual black man. That's why the black dude here is so eccentric in his homosexuality, and abroad where everywhere the white man has been, because that's what they want those black people to be. They want them to be totally emasculated, totally not like a man, right? And then they want to even more emasculate that man by violating that man. But let me tell you something though. Sisters, do not get offended. Sisters, do not get offended. Black women, do not get offended. I pray they don't get offended when they watch this video later. I don't know how to politely put this. The same pedophile black man phallus fantasizing violating type dudes are the same dudes, right? Mind you, I'm telling you, this is the same dude who would go fuck a goat, are the same dudes that black women were gonna lay up with and play bedwitch to. Wow! Can this shit get any more fucking crazy? Right. You see what I'm saying? This is the type of shit that I'm talking about. The nigga is a child molester and the bitch is still fucking him. And she knows it. But mainly these are white chicks who are like this. But there's black women who entertain black dudes who are rapists and molesters and shit like that. And they fuck this dude knowing that he's touching their daughter, touching their son. This shit is crazy. I'm trying to tell y'all, this shit is about Pizzagate. It's about a sick culture they've created that goes silent and uncontested. Pedophilia is their fucking thing. It is their thing. I'm trying to tell y'all. If you only knew. Why do you think they make all the sick little baby jokes that they make? All the dead baby jokes. This shit is not new. They've been doing this shit for a long time. Why do you think the white man's population is really stunted? Because while he's acting like a politician, by the motherfucking dead of night, he's out running around kidnapping somebody's baby, blood sacrificing them to the fucking whatever God he believes in, fallen deity he believes in, him and his cabal of cohorts. This is the weird shit they've been doing, man, in this country for hundreds of years. They do it to this day. I was telling Andre when I talked to him earlier, I was the reason why I had to fall back is because I was going to show the connection and the correlation between Masonic temples and children that come up missing and people that come up missing. This shit is so fucking deep, man. It's so deep that once again, when I say Pizzagate is just a name, right on, it doesn't really touch the surface of what it really means. You know, it's not just the babies, but the babies are the most precious. You know, they're the most precious of us. You know, if somebody was innocent, it would be them, and that's where these fucking evil ass demons corrupt them, just like that. You go fucking corrupt the fucking baby, dog. The fuck is wrong with you, nigga? But that's how these people think. And they don't want you to pay attention to it because they'd rather put up an explosion of shit that happens in Texas. They'd rather talk about a trade war. They'd rather talk about collusion with Russia. They'd rather talk about Stormy Daniels. Can you dig it? They'd rather make you wonder if Laquan McDonald is going to get justice. Woo! They'd rather make you look at R. Kelly and not even draw the correlation between the Pizzagate and R. Kelly's activities if you want to be technical. But I could never bash R. Kelly. That's my dude. That's my hitter. Don't worry, I made a video months ago called Hitmaker for my man's R. Kelly. All these motherfuckers talking shit about him to listen to him. Still listen to his music to this day. I'm going to name 5 songs right now by R. Kelly that have nothing to do with sex. And people are going to be like, oh, you pull some old school stuff up. And I'm going to be like, you show me an R&B guy who's not talking about sex on the low, and then I'll knock R. Kelly. But however, let's talk about World's Greatest. Let's talk about I Believe I Can Fly. Right. I Wish, obviously. Come on. You know, that's he done took one of them, so now I gotta use another one. Let's talk about Bad Man. Right on. Let's talk about Happy People. One of my favorite. Right on. You Save Me. See, here's the thing. You could never stand up. I don't know why you could never stand him. Right. What did he, just like I would ask you, like Gaddafi, right on, ask old boy, right on. What did I ever do to you? You feel me? You know what I mean? Like I just don't. He's never done nothing to me. You feel me? I personally can't fucking stand Beyonce, but okay, bro. But there's niggas who do way more wicked shit right now, who were doing way more wicked shit back then, bro. That's my point. And how do you know he married her? Were you there? That's my point, my nigga. It's easy to say that. That's just like they say that Michael Jackson slept with little kids. But, nigga, I wasn't in that bedroom, my nigga. I'm not one of those people. So it's all speculation. You know what I mean? It's all speculation. And that's okay. I understand you. Big sister, I am not in any way, shape, or form disagreeing with you. I totally understand your stance. I respect your stance. I'm just saying I'm on the other side of the venue where I'm like, shit, I fuck with R. Kelly. That's my dude. You feel me? I love R. Kelly. So can't be marrying an 8-year-old, Martin. I love it. I love it. No shit, you can't be married to an 8-year-old, dog. Listen. There's no way, shape, or form I'm telling you guys that what R. Kelly was doing when he was 25 and when Aaliyah was 15, I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool, that's okay. But I knew chicks. Right. Listen. Once again, I didn't say pissing on somebody. What you do in your personal life and how you perform your music, they're totally different. If you guys can't discern that they're different. Anyway, my point is this. I don't carry what a person does from one thing to the other thing. I judge them based in one arena. Right on? So, if you're like, boom, he's not supposed to do this because she's this age, okay, bam. You got me, but who established those rules? Stop right there. Stop right the fuck there. The same people that established those rules are the same people who allow Catholic priests to touch on little boys, my nigga. You feel me? Unquestionably. Right. So when you say shit like that, if you're going to go that hard on R. Kelly, you need to go way harder on a Catholic priest. And that's my fucking point. Right. You can't be that willing. No, fuck the parents and fuck R. Kelly. Get what I'm talking about right now. So how many of the parents in the Catholic Church who think they're doing right by the Most High God are guilty then? Follow me. This shit's bigger than y'all think it is. This Pizzagate shit is fucking huge. It's not it's something else. But that's the word they get. That's the name they gave it. But that's my point. So follow me. This is my question. Abraham was at least 10 years older than his wife. At least 10 years older than Sarah. Are you saying he's disgusting? No. And B, and just give a yes or no. Is he disgusting for being married to his sister? See, once again, don't split hairs. Don't split hairs and say, oh, society is this, society is that. Yes or no's. Because when you talk like that, right, and you speak like that, I wonder, once again, how much of this you've invested into your minds. Because this shit's this shit's bigger than you're saying it is. So what is and what isn't what you think it is. Jacob married to his cousin. Cousins. Both of them considerably younger than him. You gonna go in on Jacob? You're gonna go in on Daddy Abraham for getting married again when he was a hella old ass man, having more children? You're gonna call him a nasty, dirty old man? See, there's ways, and I'm not going in on anybody. I'm just asking y'all questions because that shit matters. So my point is this right here. That's why I'm saying the babies are precious. Not people who can make informed decisions like a 15 or 16-year-old and choose to fucking suck somebody in their conscious mind, okay? But a little fucking baby. They're totally different. They're not the same. And when people put them in the same category, right, then you cause confusion. They're not the same. They're not even close to the same. This is why people don't like me, because I can discern the difference. And I point them out. And what I just said right just then is indisputable. Because nobody wants to speak against Abraham or Jacob. They're like, whoa, 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 whoa. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. But just a second ago, niggas is going in on R. Kelly. Calling him all kinds of this, all kinds of that. Once again, that's my fucking point is, do you really see the smoke and mirrors? I'm vicious. I'm vicious. I am vicious. Okay? If these dudes could actually hang with me for 10 seconds, I'd let them hang with me. If I wanted to get on their hangouts for real, I could ask for the link. They would just tell me you can't act up. Or some type of shit. I don't give a fuck. You see what I'm saying? I'm pointing out the most simplistic things within the scripture and in your life. It just takes the ability to stand back. Everybody doesn't want to stand back because some people are too involved. I'm not that involved. I don't have anything to tell you other than what is true. Right. They can go back and listen to anything I've said. I've talked about the babies, the little ones. Right. Do I go around here fucking on teenagers? Of course not. Of course the fuck not. But I know the difference between somebody who's doing that and somebody who's fucking little kids. There's a big difference. There's a big difference. And if you don't discern the two differences and you start muddying the waters, then you excuse one group of people, right? And you condemn another. So because she's 18, she has one more number on her lifeline than a 17-year-old. Now she's capable of making fucking permanent decisions that last forever. Man, get the fuck out of here. But I'm retarded. I'm retarded. Once again, let me go ahead and draw a parallel for y'all, just in case you think I'm tripping. There's a big difference between a guy that you catch and has a weapon on his persons when he's killed than somebody who does not and you shot in the fucking back. There's a big difference. That's why I stress that it must take 17 times. You must have to get shot 17 fucking times for a cop to even get convicted. And niggas are talking about shit's changing. Wow! Are they fucking retarded or what? Read an article today. Guy been in prison for 36 years. Got free because of a fingerprint database. He been saying he didn't do it for 30 fucking 6 years. And it did not once nobody run this motherfucker's prints. Man, get the fuck out of here. You know how old forensics are? But the people who prosecuted him and did that shit are dead and gone. That's what I'm talking about. So if you're going to talk about how wrong somebody is for their activity or how they conduct themselves, talk about the shit that leads up to that. Talk about the fact that people who live in a place like Chicago, where R. Kelly is from, are being brought up way worse than he ever was. And R. Kelly, listen, was sound enough to be able to produce music that has actually helped people. When's the last time Chicago's produced an R. Kelly? Tell me that. Since people want to fucking hate on him so bad, since he's so fucking bad, when's the last time they produced one? Huh? Right, my fucking point exactly. Motherfuckers is worried about all the wrong shit. There's a most high God for a reason. There's a most high God for a reason. Because if you were not able or capable of holding somebody accountable, he will. You don't think people enjoyed King Solomon while he was committing his wickedness? You don't think there was niggas like, oh man, I always knew Solomon was sacrificing to other gods. Fuck out of here, man. This shit is so crazy that I have to even like justify this man being able. If he wants to sin, he can sin. That's his prerogative. The same way you hate people like him, you better hate all these other motherfuckers who actually want you to die. Because R. Kelly don't want you to die. Believe it or not. Black man and black woman, no. He don't want you to die. No. Shit, if he could have his way, shit, he could drop another CD and you'd buy that motherfucker. So don't think R. Kelly wants you to die, but the people trying to prosecute him want your black ass out of here right now, today, this moment. Ain't nobody like Kel, dog. If you ain't dropped a mainstream burner, you're not like Kel. Right on? R. Kelly wrote hits for other hit makers. Bro, come on, man. This is my point, dog. Unless BJ the Chicago Kid is the dude who's writing music for everybody right now, writing hits, but all the hits are mumbo jumbo rap. So I don't know. You don't have to like him. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You see what I'm saying? I don't like motherfucking Malcolm X. I don't care for him at all. I really don't care for Malcolm X. But I have love for Malcolm X because I understood what Malcolm X was trying to do. See, my love for my people will never be outweighed for me disliking them. There's a lot of shit that I don't like that women think and do in general, that men do and think in general, that I totally despise and disapprove of. Yet because I love my people, there's just things that I just put up with because I love them. See, that's what I'm trying to say to you, sister, it's an unconditional support for your people. Either I support you or I don't. If you lose my support, you'd have to do something that was like against me. You see what I'm saying? Like you'd have to actually act against me personally. But no matter what you do, there's nothing you could do unless I felt that your actions were obviously against me that I would ever stop supporting you for. And that goes for everybody. I don't see it like that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying like I see it on the other side of the fence of I'm gonna support my people because guess what? It's not like R. Kelly's a faggot. Right. And there's black women, right? Follow what I'm saying. Your age and younger who will get behind a homosexual, support a full-blown faggot before they support a man who has children and has supported his children. When his daughter got on social media and blasted him, I was like, I hope this bitch chokes on steak tonight. You don't think she's told her father, I love you, daddy? Get the fuck out of here. This is the type of shit I'm talking about. Smoke and mirrors. Because they don't want me to appreciate the basic things that at least, you know what? Okay, everything about this dude's not perfect. And he is fucked up like this. But the one thing I can say about him is that he addressed that before I ever could. He said something before I ever could. So I don't have to go in on his character or the character of another person like him. You know what I mean? I mean, who's talking about young boy mixed mulatto guy Drake? You know? He doing the same shit R. Kelly was doing. The same exact shit. And nobody is like, oh, Drake is the fucking devil. Drake needs to be prosecuted. Drake needs to be fucking put on fucking stand. They're not like that to that dude. You feel me? The shit is fucking crazy, dog. What up, brother? How you doing, man? It's always good to see you, bro. It's always a peace and it's always a blessing, man. You know what I mean? Just to you know, just to know that you're around. You know what I mean? I appreciate you. But sister, I'm not stressing any one thing to you. I'm saying this to everybody because I like for everybody to hear it because we have to appreciate our situation is unique. Our situation is so unique that little black boys and little black girls come up missing all the time. Nobody cares. Why aren't those our headlines? Where are those headlines at? There's no real number. And when I say come up missing, I'm talking about to the fucking foster care system and everything. Because they're not considered missing. The baby that's in foster care is not considered missing. But they're missing. What about the parents who love their babies and they were taking care of their babies and they might not have had everything, but shit, they were making it by. And foster care came and took their children. Right. What about them? See, I love when I prick the hearts of people because I know I'm getting the best of them. I love it. Once again, the same people who want you to call your own people monsters and savages, right? And animals are the same people that go out and lay up with animals, the same people that go out, get passports, fly to other countries just so they can sleep with children, unbeknownst to everyone else, come back, kiss their wife on the face, kiss their own children on the face, after having sex with somebody else's child, after fucking an animal. These are the types of people who were cast in judgment. And you think I'm tripping to fucking throw stones in their glass house that they built and told me I have to live in? Please. Please. If America got invaded right now, I'd fucking thank the Most High God. Fuck this place. I don't care about this place. I could care less about this place. Could care less. Could care less. They've done nothing for you or for me. The same people that would be invading them would probably be using some form of technology that our people have introduced to this world to do it with. Give a fuck about them. I don't care. Until you're able to see how big this shit is, until you're able to grasp the fullness of the big picture, I can't let it go. Oh, what they thought that each week was going to be. You don't see how this lines up with your prophecy this week. You're another weekend. 7 more days, 8 more days. This month is over. Done. Finite. Yeah, man. Steven and sister, look. It's funny that you said that about the Got Milk commercials because they haven't made one in shit. And I don't know what. It's probably been what 15 years, 16 years. It's been forever since the Got Milk commercial came out. You know, it's been a long time. Anyway, point is this: uh, why do you think they do stuff like that, sister? Huh? Why do you think they do stuff like that, sister? Right. All the celebs have milk mustaches. That's right. Right. Sister, why do you think they do that though? Come on. Come on. Cause they know what they're doing, right? Cause they know who's doing it, right? They said, shit, if they only knew who was stealing the babies, if they only knew, they might do something about it, huh? It's wickedness. It's wickedness. Yeah, I mean, when you see, let me go ahead and talk about both of those things real quick. Your DNA is on file in any country you're born in that has the technology to keep it on file. And with that said, you know, obviously there's a reason that they need your in particular DNA. They're looking for people. However, that said, I'm just gonna move on. Milk doesn't need an advertisement. No, it doesn't. I just think it's funny that I I just think it's funny that we're able to talk about this and note the seriousness of the situation. This shit is real. This shit is real. Now they don't want you to be worried about the babies. You know how I know they don't want you to be worried about the babies? Because they want you to give your baby up for a whole 8, 9 hours of the day until you trust us with the baby's well-being. While the teachers are doing all kinds of foul, wicked shit to the babies. Come on, man. Then they tell you to be pious, righteous, God-fearing, right? You take them to church and they get touched at church. You have a family member who's a fucking weirdo. You can't bring them around because you're afraid that they're going to touch it. See how this shit works? How they create these dynamics. They create these dynamics, y'all. I'm almost done with the book of Enoch. As soon as I get done with it, I'm dropping a Spectra video. It's going to be a book of Enoch, spiritual gumbo type thing, but it's going to be about Spectra. Just wanted to throw that out there. But back to this. I just want y'all to really understand how this is all going to go. Next couple months, expect for the theatrics to get ever greater and ever greater and ever greater. I read to y'all the last time we was doing one of these. The fucking the way that they're trying to sue the Catholic priest is by not informing the parents that there was predators there, and because the parents are consumers, right? Because look, there's no way to go after the church. There's no way to go after the church. That's why they said like this is brand new. Even the church is like, holy shit, this might work. Because right, you didn't protect the consumer. See what I'm saying? You see how they're having to drive their angle to get so-called justice. Now, how many of these parents are willing to take a payout from the church is the question you need to ask yourself. Right. If the parents take a payout, that's no different than pimping your child. That's simple. That's simple. I know people don't want to hear that, but you know, that's why I don't respect a lot of this shit. Because it's garbage. People can be paid to keep their mouth shut. Were you ever really looking for justice? See, the only movie that ever really showed real justice was A Time to Kill. That's it. I can't think of another movie. You could say John Q was close to that, but John Q was kind of over the top, taking the hostages in the hospital and shit. And uh, I dig it, my nigga. For my baby, I'll do whatever. And niggas don't even remember John Q. But anyway, John Q was the shit. But A Time to Kill was probably the only movie I could think of that really shows you real justice. The man allowed for the system to do what he thought would have been the right thing. These two white men clearly violated my daughter. They did nothing. What did he do? He blew their asses away. Right. Right. And then he ended up on trial. I'm not saying that's how we should go, or that's what it should be like us for us as a people, but at some level you gotta stand up for yourself. Oh yeah, man. Oh no. Denzel did the damn thing in John Q. John Q's my movie, man. Eddie Griffin at the end was like, "You my hero." Gave him the solid and shit. Let me stop, man. They don't know, man. Let me stop. However, it's been a beautiful life to realize that I'm living in a time where the most I can come back. That's what makes it beautiful. It's been a sad and depressing life because I've done things that have made my life more difficult. But the more I realize that I could live in the most terrifying, horrifying, yet gratifying and satisfying time there could ever be, that it makes me apprehensive, but it gives me hope. I have hope. I have true, legitimate hope. I love all my people. I love all y'all. You guys are excellent. You guys are excellent. I don't think there's another group of people like y'all. I keep telling you guys, wars are won and lost from small unit cohesion. Won and lost. Won and lost from small unit cohesion. And we have the best small unit cohesion. Bar none. Bar none. When I say bar none, bar none. And I don't mean that by any sleight of the imagination. That's why I talk to y'all when I talk to y'all. Because I believe you can take it. Because I'm not an easy guy to get along with. But if you take what I'm taking, you'll realize that I really only want what's best for everybody. I want us to live. I want us to live the best ways that's meant. You know what I'm saying? That's right, brother. That's exactly right. That's right, brother. That's why I'm talking about what I'm talking about. Because small unit cohesion is what's going to keep you alive, keep you breathing. So if all of this stuff ever breaks down, just know, man, you just need a tight knit unit of people who are going to do what it takes to get it done. I've been in some bad situations with some good people, and I've made it out. I don't want y'all to think, even for a moment. I know it sounds premature, but I think I've already won both of these cases. Already. I know it sounds even more premature. I think I've already won the lawsuit. You guys have prayed so much positive energy. You have spoken so many positive affirmations. They have had no choice but to seed into my life. It has been wonderful. With that said, this is why I speak on things like smoke and mirrors, because it is important that we understand the deception of our enemies. I do not want to hurt nobody. I want to help. I want to be as productive as I can, the best way I know how. See, in real life, much more effective. This internet thing is a wicked contraption, and I only give it so much oomph these days. There was a time when I was very, 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 very intrigued, not fully understanding that what I was dealing with was indeed witchcraft. But now that I know and I can achieve better, I do better the best way I know how. There are a lot of people who are terrified because for them, there is no indefinite win or loss. They must continue day by day. And if they do not do this, then that is when the end shall consume them. For myself and for all of you, I would pray that you know that your victory comes when the Most High comes. Your victory comes ultimately when you let go of wanting people who will never do right by you to do right by you. When you admit and capitulate that there is only one who can save you. With that said, as a man that I have to check on to make sure he's still alive, pray to God he hasn't killed himself or died by accident. Return to your God, my people, the best way you know how. That's what I can tell you. You know, everybody's not going to return to the Most High the same way. Everybody's not going to garnish favor the same way, nor do they anger him in the same ways. People should appreciate their differences. I hope you guys realize that this week, these next couple of weeks are going to be ever more to take your mind off of what is going on. This wall is nothing. The wall, prophecy as it is, right on, is prophecy to shroud another prophecy. Can you dig it? Because they still take the children of people, right? And your eyes still long to see them. We're still in a land where we go and essentially plant vineyards and all sorts of things that we don't actually eat from. Build homes that we still don't get to live in. The black man's curse has not been lifted from him. Just because you are not suffering from every single part of the curse does not mean that you are not most indefinitely intertwined within the parameters of the happenings of those unfortunate events. My brothers and my sisters, I don't know what to say other than I would hope that you guys see the difference. That's it. Nothing else. I just want you to see the difference. I'm not worried about what people approve or don't approve of. I am walking, breathing, living disapproval. Don't want somebody's approval. Don't need it. Before I head out, this is a serious question. Very serious. Would it make a person a sellout to watch a man that looks like them be treated any old type of way by the police, even though their physical condition, because they were in too good of physical condition, doesn't speak to the activity that one claims that they were just involved in? Now, I'm not comparing pickpocketing to pedophilia, but if a man said that this dude just got caught touching my daughter, I would have a hard time believing that if that dude wasn't beat to a bloody pulp and pretty much dead. Like, not, and I don't mean like, oh, he rubbed her leg. I mean like, he fucking violated my daughter. I just don't see how a father would be standing there calm as can be, stoic even, while he relays this information to the proper authorities, so-called proper authorities. Evermore, I just don't see how people could be upset with that father for taking justice into his own hands and doing what he saw fit. See, this is the problem with people, is that they don't see the problem with the decisions that they make, nor do they see how they're connected. Right. So you'd persecute one person, but you wouldn't persecute the other. That's what makes the action evil. That's what makes that evil. If I say one man who does this is wrong, that means that all men who do this is wrong. But that means that the women who do it also in any like form or fashion are also wrong. Right. And are they going to hold themselves to the level of accountability that they're seeking this man to be held to? Or that they don't mind seeing a man to be held to? These are real questions to ask yourself. Because if a person doesn't mind seeing someone who's done nothing to them be held accountable for, you can't even call them crimes, actions that they may have or may not have committed towards parties that were willing. I can't understand. No, I don't understand. Because that same mentality could be implied upon every other measure in life. And if you're going to apply that to someone like him, to Sir Kelly, then you need to apply it to every other dirty bastard out there. That's right. You can't just apply it to his dirty ass. You got to apply it to all the dirty asses. See, this is the problem that we're living with, is that we're so quick to want to hold our own people accountable, thinking that makes us more upright and just, when in fact holding the other people accountable makes you more upright and just. Because only you, it seems, don't know what it is that your people have done. Right. Do you know why old black Americans didn't need a white man to tell them what black people invented? Because they were alive when black people invented it. So they knew black people invented it. Do you know why black people stopped investing their creative juices into the society? Because they realized that the black man would never be paid for his due diligence. They say, oh, your parents are coons for not wanting you to do this, not wanting you to do. No. Your parents were very intelligent because they didn't want you to give up the best parts of you to a system in a world that would never give you back what it is that is rightfully yours. These same dirty devils take from themselves and think nothing of it. So what makes you think they won't take from you and totally do you in? Right. Unthinkable. Before I end, got to say this to us. there shall be no peace, nor is there justice. Andre said something about people saying that they're living their best life, but that's all they can do. What life else is there? I understand that this is not the best life. Clearly, this existence is not the creme de la creme existence, but this is the best life that they have. If I was born a person who had mental deficiencies, that would be the best life I had. I wouldn't know anything else. I wouldn't know anything else. Be thankful for what you have, black people. Be ever more grateful for what you don't have. For it may motivate you to change your life, and it may make you realize that what it is that you do have is more than plentiful. Be thankful. I appreciate y'all so much. You don't even know. Like I can't even talk about some of the I really want to talk about. I just won't talk about it. I'm gonna try right now. Let me try right now. Do you know why they're afraid of you realizing that frequencies are so dangerous? Because if you see that the frequencies that you're seeing in are not the true frequencies that life are actually, it's not the true broadband of life. It's not how it's actually put out. Then you will look to see things differently. By that I mean maybe a person doesn't see just the chemical plant exploded. Maybe they look into it and see maybe it was terrorist. Maybe it wasn't terrorist. But the fact that a person has the ability to stand back and say that to themselves gives them all the power they did not have. What I'm saying to you right now is give yourself power that you do not have in the society. Your ability to think, your power to think, is something that cannot be taken from you. It is an ongoing ability to the very moment that you expire. It is one that should not be thought of lightly. It is a gift and a unique gift. All people cannot engage in thought, and all people do not engage in thought similarly. You should engage in your thought the most productive way that you know how. You know how I know that we're all by ourselves, brothers and sisters? Because still no one's reached out to help you. When we achieve victory, not I, when we achieve victory in the courts, in these cases, it will be a victory that only we hold to ourselves. And they will wish that they could use it to show how white supremacy, or whatever the fuck they think that is, has to capitulate to its own rules and regulations. But don't worry, because you have prayed for me, and nothing that they have done will be the difference. The Most High God will claim He will gather all the glory. You guys have no idea. This is a blessing, not a curse. To watch yourselves pray for a man through his tribulations and to watch the positive outcomes of what you have done, regardless. Beautiful thing. We pray for an expedited journey, but the Most High God did not want an expedited journey. He said, no, let this drag itself out. So it has. It has become a beautiful thing. You guys are everything, people. My brother's wife never called, so I guess she don't need no money. I guess she's all right. I'm talking to Andre when I say that, more or less, but saying it to everybody. I'm supposed to have went and gone and done some stuff. I just didn't do it, or I wasn't supposed to go anywhere, so I was supposed to come here, and it just never happened. But anyway, are we ever gonna be on the level where what I'm saying is not? I mean, like, not one of these people who are so-called mainstream. None of them are physical movers. These niggas are caramel macchiato drinking motherfuckers. You feel me? And I'm not, and I didn't say that caramel. I didn't. I'm not saying that a caramel macchiato doesn't taste good. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. Don't put words in my mouth. I'm just saying that these niggas drink one of these every day and expect me and you to take them serious. Expect me and you, right, to be like, oh yeah, they're for real. Oh yeah, the Dane Callaways, all of them. They're dirty bastards, dog. Dane Calloway's a dirty ass nigga. He's going to hell. He already knows that, so I don't have to say nothing. People are like, oh, how could you speak to Dane Calloway? He knows he's going to hell. He already knows that, so there's no real need to divert any more energy into a guy like him, you know, who's a fucking liar. He's not just a joke. Because the shit that he says is not funny. He says a lot of serious shit that's supposed to be real. But he's a fucking liar. Once again. A nigga who says that all black people are aboriginal to America. That's who Dan Calloway is. Anyway, these cats. You can't respect them. Can't respect them. I was late to the party when I found out that this guy was saying that all black people were like Native Americans. I was late when I found that shit out. I was like, what the fuck is this dude talking about? But it was a good thing I found that out after the fact that I had been already. It's just. I don't know. It's killing me. He claims he's Aboriginal. He thinks he's Aboriginal. That nigga can't prove that shit. Okay? And even if he could prove he was Aboriginal, here's the thing. Every nigga who's in America is not Aboriginal. So when that shit is said and done, he's still wrong. Right. I'm going to name 3 black running backs in the NFL. I'm gonna name 3 black running backs in the NFL. And if you look them all up, they all look completely different. Leonard Fournette, Ezekiel Elliott, Todd Gurley. You always going in on somebody's eyes, sister. You always talking about somebody being cross-eyed. You do not trust those niggas with the cross-eyed ever. You be going so it'd be so funny. It'd be so funny. All I can do is just laugh. Oh no, bro, yeah. Oh no, Zeke's coming up, pimp. You feel me? Little Aboriginal looking dude. Come on, man. Looking just like an Aboriginal. You guys are funny. I'm glad y'all having a good time. I'm glad. All I can do is suck on my teeth on that one. This dude, Martin, is funny. He's like, I knew that was coming. I knew it. Because I'm predictable. I pick my same characters. I don't deviate. You know what I mean? When I pick mixed guys, I pick Drake and J. Cole for a reason because people know who the fuck they are. If I pick somebody like Omari Hardwick, they'd have to know what the show power is. And then they'd be like, that dude's not mixed. And I'm like, but he is, though. You know? And then you feel what I'm saying? It's like I go for the easiest thing. I don't try to go for the hard shit because I know that, people are like, they're not trying to work that hard for it. So I'm like, let me go ahead and not make it too hard on them. I'm not trying to work too hard for it. Excuse me. Look, this information is not salvation. This information is just information. You use it for what it's good for. Did you hear me? You use it for what it's good for. You stand back, you let the rest just blow on by. I've been saying for a long time, if it does not apply to you, I'm not talking to you. If what I just said, though, applies to you, I'm talking to you. What else is it? Man, I just don't know how else to like stress this situation with y'all. Like, well, I scratched my head, yawn. There is there's almost no way else to say it. You know what I mean? Like, pay attention. Pay attention and stand back. Fuck. Don't be so involved in what's going on that you can't see what's going on. Did you hear me? Don't be so caught up that you get caught up. The difference between you and them, us and they, must be two things. The first of which is how you conduct yourself. You don't do anything that you don't have to do, but you never let anybody disrespect you, no matter what. And number two, always remember that somebody's watching. Somebody's watching. So don't think that their wickedness and their evil stuff goes unpunished. The Most High God will do to them what you cannot do, what you don't have the power to do. He is the God of hosts, the Ancient of Days. He has the type of pull, clout, as we like to say. that nobody could even imagine. It is amazing. Give me one moment. Fuck Paul. And I'm gonna stone Paul's bitch ass in the last days. If there's anything that I get to do to his motherfucking ass. Fuck Paul. Anyway, my whole point is this. Before you're ready to roll out. I need y'all to see what is going on in the world. There's so much. There's too much that I can't point it all out to you. But I can point out things that are happening as they happen. Sometimes. Sometimes I just don't care. Tired. I am literally worn out and exhausted. Tired. Trying to show the same things over and over and over and over. It becomes moot after a while. I'm like, the people who already know, already know. And the people who don't know, don't give a damn. And I just have to learn how to not care. And that has nothing to do with y'all. It has that's my own personal thing. But I'm just speaking it so that way you guys understand what it is that I'm going through. Because I'm going through my own little level of things. I'm going through my own stuff, you know? And just accepting that I can't reach out to people that I want to reach out to. That hurts. But you can accept it because it's happening. You're like, okay. They don't want to hear it. You can't make them hear you. Can't make them respect you either. All I gotta say is this, y'all. One of these days, when it's all said and done, granted, you're still here and I'm still here. We're all still here. And maybe not in the same capacity that we are now, but just to still be here. One of these days, just to say, you know what? Right before that, the nebulizer, right, is used on us, right? Scramble our memories, whatever you want to call that thing. Whatever the Most High does, where He gets rid of everybody's memory, when that happens, I just want to be here. I could die right. I could really die right when the wicked start getting killed. That would be like, I feel good. But I could really go once I know that people have gotten to the stage of He's going to clear their memories, because that means that they've made it. It would be nice to make it. I don't have to make it. Just like I'm one of those people, I get satisfaction in other people doing stuff and having a good, you know, to have had a hand in one person actually achieving the kingdom. And by them being able to say that something that this brother said to me, that would be an honor. No matter what my fate is, it doesn't matter because I helped with that person, with that one thing, with that, and that's all that matters. I don't know. I gotta make it if the most I want it to happen. He don't want it to happen, it ain't happening. That is how it goes. That is how it goes. Man. Anyway, brothers and sisters, it's late on the East Coast, and it is getting late here on the West Coast. And I know it's late in the Central Time Zone. I got a couple more minutes, and then I'm going to shut this thing on the way down. But because I'm a half-assed type dude, I'll just chop it for a second. I'm going to say this. Don't put yourself anywhere you don't need to be. Don't do anything you don't have to do. Once again, be the best person you can be at all times. What little you think it is for somebody, if they're willing to accept it, give it to them. Because them accepting that little blessing might be the opening to a larger blessing. Most High God is righteous. The Most High God is holy. My friends, my family, my compatriots, if anything, it would be a lovely thing for any one of us to make it. But if we all could make it, just to say that one time before he wipes our memories, we made it, that would be an awesome thing. That would be epic thing. But until the next time, I tell you, I salute you because your service is honorable. You are a stalwart, upstanding individuals. I love you and I respect you. You guys have an excellent day.